Have you ever wanted to have this kind of effect on a model that you've made? This kind of wave stingray effect. So to do that, we get started. Blender 4.5 here is what the version I'm using. I don't need to delete any cube because I'm going to use it, but what I'm going to do is glide it up the z-axis so it sits right at the base, right on the floor of the grid, and set the origin of the cube to that location. Add a cylinder, reduce the resolution to 16, rotate on the x-axis 90 degrees, and then I can go to edit mode, click on those two vertices there, select them, set the cursor to those two, and then set this object, the cube, right on top of to the cursor so that I can scale it from here, the z-axis like that, and then on the x-axis that way. That's wide enough. Okay, and then I could just go ahead and join these two to make a single object. Turn around, rotate it on the z-axis 90 degrees. Apply all transforms so that it knows that this is the correct state to be in. X means X and so forth. Y means Y. And then we go ahead and duplicate this, drag it along the x-axis just a little bit. Sorry, um, out of the correct view, but here we go. We have that. And then I go ahead and repeat this until we have about 16 of these for a nice wave. Okay, then from there we go ahead and click on that. Now, if you are familiar with drivers, you know that if you just add the expression hashtag frame here, then this object will rotate on the x-axis according to, as the frames progress when you hit play. That's the kind of animation you get. But we don't want that expression. This better expression here that I've copied. Let's see, we could just go to, I could just go ahead and click or shut these off, add some text. I go in there and then I can just, let's see, Control All, delete. So this is the correct text. Okay, this is a formula that we need for the driver of these, to drive these shafts, these wings, let's call them the correct way. So what I need to do is go here and click add a driver, paste my expression right there, allow exception, and then from there I will need to, let's see, change this, add a custom property and call it index. Okay, and then from there I could go back to the object. Actually, I need to go to drivers here on click on the driver for this item. The drivers, I need to select, to type in here index. So I've brought in this object here that has the animation already in it. If we go to the timeline, we can see that I have added keyframes at 15 degrees and right here it's minus 15 degrees within this time frame, but 2 seconds say. So if I go back and press play, this is what happens. But now on this driver, I have to to come in here and then select that object, that cylinder, to be the driver of the anime, to tell it what direction to move, I presume, because it's asking for an object to be input here in order for the animation to work. So that's what I did. I brought in this cylinder that already has the animation and had it linked to the motion of this item here. So when I click on that, it references this object, this initial cylinder that we don't have to show. We can just switch off and get it out of the picture. So this cylinder is a reference to that cylinder. And when we press play, we go to timeline, we press, actually, it's not, we don't have to do that. We go to timeline, we can, let's see, drag the timeline here. We can just press play and it will just continue moving back and forth um, perpetually. So now we know this item works. What we do is come in here and we paste this driver to this object, and then we go back to its settings for the driver and ensure that we click the object uh, just before it, that was preceding it, in order to get the correct motion. So you can see now that I've referenced cylinder. Go to the next one, paste driver, and reference on the driver, reference the correct item, which is the one just before it. And as you can see, the pattern is starting to come out, where it's like starting to look like a wave. On to the next one, and I'll be back as soon as I finish all of in a few moments. And now for the last one, click add the driver, click on the driver settings here and select the correct item, the one just before it. And now when that's done, all the drivers are set up on all the items. We go to the timeline and go to the beginning and we'll press play, and then we get that kind of motion.